You're losing weight, but are you going to be able to keep it off? In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 tips that helped me maintain my 65-pound weight loss for over a year now. So today I wanted to talk about weight loss maintenance, because to me that's just as important as the actual weight loss. If you can't maintain the weight loss, then what's the point of even losing weight in the first place? It was actually the thing that made me scared to lose weight, because I really thought, what's the point? I'm just gonna gain it back like I always do. So I went about it a little bit differently this time, and I've been able to successfully keep off the weight instead of just getting down to the goal weight and then, eventually just climbing right back up to where I was. And what I've learned is it's not that complicated. You can do it. You're in complete control of it. So today I'm just going to give you 5 tips that have helped me along the way. So my first tip is wait until you get down to a weight that you are happy with before you start maintenance. It's easy sometimes to kind of get stuck and then just say, well, I'll maintain this for a while and then I'll get back to losing. But I'll tell you from my own experience, here's what happened. At around 200 pounds, I got stuck. I got stuck at around 200. I just couldn't get below it. And I kind of resigned myself to the fact that, I guess I'm just gonna be at 200 and that's just gonna be it for, forever. So I wasn't really happy at that weight. And what I started to notice was my weight started climbing back up. I couldn't even maintain that weight loss. And what I realized was I wasn't happy at that weight and I wasn't happy at the higher weight. So it was kind of like, what difference does it make? Compare that to when I was at 157. At that weight, when I finally got down there, I was motivated to stay at that weight. I didn't want to go back to where I was. I was like, this is a change and I wanted to maintain it. So be motivated wherever you are. Don't stop losing until you're like, okay, this is a weight I can be happy at. Tip number 2, make permanent changes to your eating, to your moving. So basically what it boils down to is this: if you go back to eating the way you used to eat, you will eventually go back to weighing what you used to weigh. And it's a lesson I've had to learn over and over again. I can't go back to what I was doing, because if I do, I'll be back where I was. I don't want to do that. So what was always in the back of my mind when I was picking my plan and why I landed on intermittent fasting was it was something that I could foresee making permanent in my life. So I can see myself just always doing intermittent fasting. Like, to me, it's effortless and I could do it from now on and I would be fine with it. Other diet plans, I haven't been able to do that. I always go back to eating the things I used to eat. So with intermittent fasting, I can continue to eat those things I've always eaten, but I just do it on a different time schedule, and that works for me. Tip number 3 is have a plan and stick to it. So my behavior in the past has been, once I get down to that weight I'm happy at, then it's like, freedom, and I just start eating everything that I want to eat, and I don't really do anything. I don't really have a plan. And then what happens? I get back in that place where I'm not happy with my weight. So I found that it's just basically trial and error, but you still have to keep a plan. So for example, I wasn't really sure when I got down to 157 and I thought, well, I just want to maintain this. What do I do? Do I go back to eating 3 times a day, or do I continue intermittent fasting, or, what do I do? And basically what worked for me was to still stay with eating my first meal at supper, but then I could have a really nice, indulgent, late night snack with my husband, and I enjoyed that. It was a way for me to feel like, ooh, freedom, a little bit more freedom than I had been having, but it was still maintaining my weight loss. But I would encourage you to just basically set up rules for yourself. Have a plan, know what your plan is. That way you can know if it's working or not. It's just like when you're trying to figure out how to lose weight. You gotta keep tweaking it until you get it just right. Same thing with maintaining. Just keep tweaking it until you get it to where you're still on track. Which brings me to tip number 4, and that is track forever, okay? I've just made peace with the fact that I am going to have to always track my weight. It's just the only thing that will keep me accountable. If I stop weighing myself, it comes back. The weight will come back because I let it get out of hand. But if I continue to weigh myself, because what I noticed when I looked back, I realized, okay, what I would do is I would lose weight because I was always keeping track of it, weighing in. But then when I would get down to my goal weight, I'd stop weighing because freedom. And then I would be right back where I started. So continuing to weigh myself so that I can know, is my plan working? Am I maintaining? If not, I need to tweak. So it's always a process, like keep tracking and then tweaking your plan until you hit that balance of it's like effortless, but at the same time, you're not going back to where you were. Tip number 5 is give yourself a little bit of leeway. I chose a 5-pound leeway, and to me, that gives me enough breathing room where I don't have to be so strict. I can be a little bit more relaxed, but it doesn't get so out of hand that it feels like a big thing. Like, to me, 10 pounds of weight loss, to look at that feels bigger. 5 pounds seems really manageable. I don't go any lower than 5 because my weight can fluctuate, water weight and whatnot, that I could do, easily within a day gain 2 or 3 pounds. So I wanted to just give myself 5 pounds. So you can, of course, pick whatever you want, but give yourself a little bit of leeway, but not too much. So weight loss maintenance, it's not very glamorous. That's the thing. It's a grind. It is just getting up every day, keeping yourself accountable every day, tracking, and then just making sure that your plan is working. And if it's not working, then change it now. If you do it now, make these little changes, it's going to be much easier to maintain. So now it's your turn. If you've had success with maintaining your weight loss, leave it in the comments below. Any tips you found, tricks you've done. I'd be interested to know if any of you out there have gone on like a really strict plan, but then you do a totally different way in maintaining it. Like my plan stayed pretty much the same, I just minorly tweaked it. But I know a lot of people would prefer to just get the weight off really, really quick and then maintain it. So has anybody out there done that? I've never had success with that method of doing it, but I would be curious to know if you were able to do it and how you did it. I love learning from other people what has worked, what has not. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below.